Hello YouTube, this is an interesting one. Yuji Itadori versus Megumi Fushiguro at every arc in the series. I've actually wanted to do this one for a while, but due to time, military, and my injuries, I kind of stopped me from doing it. But now since Jujutsu Kaisen has officially come to an end, we can actually officially look to these protagonists at every major arc and see who comes out on top. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and above all else, please enjoy. So starting off with the beginning of series cells, we come to a very common trope that will be consistent throughout the arcs, where Yuji's more physically dominant while Megumi has more curse energy and the versatility with his techniques. For an example, it's just shown that Megumi was getting manhandled by the second grade curse at the start of the series, but then Yuji can just fight this thing pretty confidently. Now when initially thinking about this matchup, I was actually more in favor of beginning of series Megumi actually being the more superior in physicality, as due to their fights with their respective special grades, as yes, they're both getting tossed around, with the difference being Yuji fought a single finger bearer worth of one of Sukuna's fingers, while Megumi fought Sukuna with an equivalent of 4 of his fingers. So just due to that, it would put Megumi's performance, or at least at the minimum durability, higher than that of the beginning of series Yuji. However, this idea gets kind of thrown out the window as a whole. As a whole arc later, it's confirmed by Megumi that if everyone in the school were to jump Yuji without curse energy, he would win. This is important as for 2 reasons. A, he only actually seen a beginning of series Yuji without curse energy, meaning that would be his only reference point, and B, one of the students, that would be Maki, and due to her not having any curse energy, any feat she does, he just unironically scales to the beginning of series Yuji, such as she is shown to fight equally to a post-training Megumi, meaning as far back as the beginning of series Yuji is quite a decent bit stronger than Megumi. However, that's not the deciding factor, as at this point Megumi probably has access to the most amount of Shigamis he has ever had in the story. And I believe if he pulled a wombo combo like he did against Sukuna with his spirits, then I really don't see Yuji getting out of that. While yes, Yuji can probably knock him out with a 3-piece, he would just get overwhelmed by that massive amount of spirits he has at his disposal. Not to mention, if Megumi can think of ways to dodge someone as fast as a mindless Toji with little to no curse energy, I really don't think it would be hard for him to do it to a Yuji. As just the strength disparity is quite high, speed's not really that case. So with this one, I think Megumi has the arsenal and experience to clutch a win. But continue on to the next arc, or the Kyoto Sister Exchange. Both of them have gained and lost quite a bit of stuff. While Megumi has lost his snake Shikigami and one of his divine dogs, he gained a new elephant curse as well as divine dog totality, which is strong and fast enough to not only one-shot above average special grade curses, but can even damage the likes of Hanami, granted while holding back massively. Hanami not only being a special grade disaster curse, but is somewhat more durable than the likes of Jogo. And to top it all off, an incomplete domain. Something to note, it's not really useful in an environment where he doesn't have cover to act as a barrier. But overall, even Megumi himself has massively increased from arc to arc, as now he can fight somewhat equally to a special grade confirmed stronger than the one that bullied the beginning of series Yuji. Yuji, on the other hand, gained Divergent Fist, but then lost it after gaining a new control over cursed energy. However, he gained a massive boost in physicality, as after hitting his Black Flash, he became strong enough to fight on somewhat equal footing to a non-holding back Hanami, and was able to actually threaten to exercise her. He also gained the ability to Black Flash, while something he can't normally do unless he focuses intensely. However, he has the in-lore luck to pull it off multiple times mid-fight, in which his power of said strike is multiplied by 2.5 times. Also, I know the higher interpretations of the Black Flash multiplier, and I plan on making a video or short discussing it in the future, but for now, go with the conservative estimate. Something to note at this point, he is so strong that his casual punches are equal to that of Nanami, someone who's essentially the peak of a grade 1 sorcerer. Okay, so who wins at this arc? Now something I want to add on, if any of Yuji's punches connect with Megumi, he is taking massive damage. Put in perspective, he scales nowhere near totality, and totality only kinda scales still holding back Hanami. I really don't think Megumi has anything that can overwhelm Yuji anymore. Not only is he more adept at fighting curses, as well as when it comes to overwhelming curse techniques, the only thing that would help is totality. However, he is still much stronger than it. Not to mention, he has done this exact same thing in the past while fighting Junpei. Now, if he lands a Black Flash, it's just over, and I'm honestly confident that he can fend off totality and Megumi at the same time, or at least long enough for him to punch Megumi once or twice. Now, if hypothetically they're in the right scenario where he can use his incomplete domain, yes, it could potentially overwhelm Yuji, but as shown with the finger bearer, at this time it doesn't really seem to impact him at all, and Yuji's in a completely different league than it, so at this arc I would give the win to Yuji. On to Shibuya. The sad truth is Yuji's the only one that gained anything at all. Not only did he regain Divergent Fist and has a mastery over it, but after hitting his first Black Flash of this arc and releasing 120% of his potential, Yuji massively increases. Or even though he is only at 10% of his strength, he's shown to be stronger than that of even Todo, who is already stated to be at full power. Then he got 120% of his potential unlocked. Mind you, in the prior arc he was equal to said Todo, meaning by the end of this arc he at least got 10 times stronger. Not to mention his Black Flash he hit at the end and then at the start of the next arc. Even Shoso noted that Yuji by this point was a demon god due to his strength, while Megumi really gained nothing this arc, so if it's not obvious, Megumi's kinda gained speed blitzed and one-shotted. And there's really no point to continue, as every subsequent arc after this, Megumi doesn't get any stronger or any more techniques, and it's not really his fault he was body snatched by Sukuna. The point still stands, Yuji not only gets many amps throughout the arcs as well as his own curse techniques, yes he gets 2, as well as an actual domain with a guaranteed hit. So call it plot or on Gege's end, but Megumi really can't beat Yuji, as he's essentially a special grade sorcerer, while Megumi is grade 1 at best. But yeah, that's how it is. Sorry for all my Megumi fans out there. I know you guys wanted this one, but let me know if this type of content is something you want to see, and that'll be all. Catch you on the next one. Mr. Crafty, out.